Wisconsin, land of beer, cheese, and real-life dystopian technology that's gonna control your every move.
Our Wisconsin-based company 3 Square Market announced its plans to install rice-sized microchips in its employees.
That's right. This company is shoving microchips into their employees, and this movement is spreading worldwide.
In Sweden, thousands already have microchip implants that they use in their daily lives.
Next thing you know, we'll all be chipped. I'm gonna pull a Harriet Tubman and free these white people. Wait, you know what I mean. I had to put an end to this evil technology before it dominates us all. The removal wasn't gonna be pretty, but luckily I spent a summer working as an unlicensed proctologist. Hey, bend over. I'm here to extract your chip. God.
What are you talking about?
The chip that they put in you. I'm here to take it out.
I volunteered.
You volunteered?
Yeah.
What? Hey, who else volunteered to get this chip? Even you, black dude? Come on, man. So I sat face to face with the man responsible for running a company of chipped employees. So where exactly is this chip implanted?
It's right there.
That's not where I thought y'all put it.
Where'd you think I put it?
That's not important. So how did you convince your employees to let you brainwash them into getting chips in their hands?
Because they saw that we could do something that truly could just change the world. I literally can, with the swipe of the hand, do anything. You can start your car with it. You can make payments, unlock doors.
I've been able to unlock doors my whole life.
I just go like this, it's easier.
Don't you think y'all are helping people become more lazy? We already swipe everything. I swipe on my phone to meet these meanses. I already pay with my phone. Why do I need a chip in my hand?
I'm never gonna forget my hand, it's always there.
Hands are really easy to lose. We've all been near a wood chipper, too close to an industrial fan.
Let's put it this way, what if I could save your life? Let's say you have a heart issue. Let's say you have diabetes. What about dementia? What about a senior citizen, to give them the peace of mind that at all times we know where they are, that we can look at all their vital signs.
That's a life alert, Patrick. We already did this. The lady's falling and she can't get up. Push the button. Somebody come get me.
But if that person's passed out, they're not able to push that button.
While that may have been an excellent point, I wasn't fully convinced. This is the only chip I want in my body, Patrick. So good.
Just wait till you see what it can do.
What can it do? You can buy snacks with a scan of your hand? Holy shit, it works! Now I know this chip initially scared the hell out of me. Go! Seeing it in action, it's a game changer. How do I get me one of these?
So basically we'll just clean it with this prep stick, and then what I'll do is when I'm ready, I'll push it in, insert the chip itself, pull it out, and then I'll put the cap back on, and we are all done.
Give me one, give me one. I was entering a new life where anything was possible. Like swiping right and left on men in real life. Having doors open for me. This was the future. But according to tech journalist Ian Scher, I made a big mistake.
There's a lot of stuff we need to think about where this is going and what could happen as a result of it.
Let me tell you how my life has changed since I've gotten this chip. I can get snacks with the wave of a hand. I can start a car as soon as I buy a car. All of this is great. You get on board with being a hater, playboy.
And that may be the case, but whenever you put a foreign object into your body, it can be dangerous.
Not all objects. Look, Ian, think about how much time I'm saving. In 20 years, I probably saved 5 to 8 minutes.
My point is that you have to actually take it out if you want to take it out.
I never thought about removing it. Would this be like a 127-hour situation? I mean, that's what you get for hiking by yourself, James Franco. That's not the point. What are like the worst case scenarios?
Well, people could go to extreme lengths to get your information, and you could get charged for stuff that you didn't intend to buy. This is hackable. People could steal your information. You may not even know when it's being accessed, or for what. People will be able to track you. People are crazy. Someone could cut your hand off to use your chip. Because it's implanted, you can't get away from it.
Oh my God! I mean, this is the worst episode of Black Mirror ever. And I saw the one with the pig. I mean, stealing other people's chips? You gotta lose your hand and your car? Or worst of all, you think you're just dancing, but you're buying items you put in your shopping cart when you were drunk. Maybe this will be the norm in the future and everyone will have a chipped hand. But right now, I'm not ready to be tracked or hacked. I have to get rid of this thing. Give me strength, Jesus! Ah, it hurts! Why does it hurt so bad? Maybe because I stuck a knife in my head. It's a rolling! No! The Chicago public school system is having a tough time, but there are some people out there who say the students are to blame.
In Chicago, there's no incentive for kids to go to school. They would rather make money selling drugs and guns.
Okay, angry news lady. But you know what? Let's hear from a recent graduate.
I am donating $1 million to CPS.
That's Chance the Rapper. You know the dude with the Kit Kat commercials and the Super Mario overalls? So why is this guy giving his hard-earned candy money to a public school system? Well, according to writer and sociologist Eve Ewing, the problem is that many people have abandoned that system altogether.
Even though Chicago as a city is about a third white residents in the city are by and large opting out of the public school system.
Well, you know, strong black women, we can figure this out.
Well, that's part of the problem though, right? Public schools are supposed to be for everybody. They're supposed to be supported by a public.
Yeah, America don't work that way.
I know, it's a bummer.
That's one way to put it. And Chance and Eve would know. They both went to Chicago public schools, but they share something else in common. As students, they had some outside help from Young Chicago Authors, a nonprofit after-school writing program. So I sat down with poet and artistic director Kevin Koval to find out more about YCA.
We believe that young people are the best documenters and the best experts of their own experience, and that as a civic society, we should probably be paying attention more closely to what young people are saying.
Ooh, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah, but they're great though. But they're so smart and they're so talented.
They better be.
Yeah, no, it really is. And young people are actually very hip, very savvy. They constantly make these brilliant, acute political insights into the way our society should be.
Yeah, you're definitely a poet. You just said a lot of words to me. They sounded so good.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know what all of them meant.
All right, I'm not sure.
But I am so impressed.
Okay.
Okay, a place where kids learn how to find their own voice is cool. And YCA's annual youth poetry competition, Louder Than a Bomb, is the largest in the world. I just had one problem.
We run the longest running youth open mic in the world.
Open mics? Open mics? Those things where people get on stage and speak a bunch of bull.
Hey, white man, come out of your shell. Hey, white man, don't kiss your cousin and tell.
And then it's been 3 hours and I've heard the same poem. So.
Open mic's super dope though. I guarantee if you are here, you will have a good time.
Kevin really had me with his big words and beautiful eyes. But these open mics, man, I don't know. I guess it was time for me to meet one of these little YCA kids. So I headed down to Chicago's South Side, where I met 17-year-old Trey. Trey claims YCA has helped him develop as a poet. I'll be the judge of that. Have you written any, love poems for, somebody you like?
I have. I wrote my first love poem as a sophomore.
Ooh, did you give it to him?
I read it to her.
Did you do it where Romeo or Juliet stand on this balcony and I read to you situation?
If the balcony was a stage.
You performed it already, sir?
Performed it.
Guys, the balls on this young man. There's dudes that won't even text me back. And the 17-year-old is out here getting you in these streets. Step your game up, gentlemen. On top of everything else, YCA taught this kid how to play the game of love. Damn.
I think YCA has really helped me kind of realize who I am, not just as an artist, but as a person in general. It just gives you a chance to speak your truth.
Okay, so, are you going to this open mic tonight?
Yes, matter of fact, I'll be performing. And you know what would make my day?
What?
I would love if you came.
Ugh, fine, I'll go. That night I showed up looking amazing, as usual. But I gotta say, when Trey went up on stage, I was nervous as hell.
The following is a letter to poetry to earn my spot at the table. Dear poetry, baby girl, you are fine. But I've been thinking, if we plan it right and put space in between our stanzas, we could be stars. But what do you know about a man who's been macking with verses back from a curse? He chatted with first, relaxed up in church, the magic of church, the trap muse, the gospel of rap, the hostel and cast, the back pew. The courage never developed in fellas to ask you, what is your castle like? Who are you attracted to?
I didn't need to be nervous. Trey and the other performers killed it. And instead of treating these kids like a bunch of hoodlums who don't care about school, maybe we should be helping them develop their voice, just like YCA does. Oh, and I guess I was wrong about open mics too. There's at least one of them that doesn't suck. As much as the conventions are a chance to win voters over, the real point is to pump up people to vote. And no one knows pumps better than these queens. Helping to turn out more votes in their own way. You might have seen these fabulous ladies strutting their stuff on the latest season of RuPaul's Drag Race. But now they're here on a mission to get people to vote. Okay, so first things first, who's tucked right now?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh God, no. It's unnecessary roughness in these crazy times.
The illusion is that I am tucked.
Stand up, Heidi.
Show them.
Fantasy is above.
So if you're untucked, then I'm untucked, which means this bra is out of here.
Yes!
Let them free.
Let the girls loose.
Now that my ladies were free, it was time to move from liberation to representation. So y'all know that we've been hearing from a lot of real people during these conventions, but so far we haven't heard from drag queens.
Because they didn't ask us, girl. I think I would definitely give shows at the convention. I think it's very important to be a leader within our community. And did you know that 1 out of 5 LGBTQIA people in our country are not registered to vote? So we can reach a lot of people. 1 out of 5 is a lot of people.
That's like Queer Eye without Anthony. Why is that?
I think that people don't think that it's important.
And 100 million people did not vote in the last presidential election, which is wild. 100 million, girl.
They should make a law where you can't line up to buy an iPhone unless you show your I voted sticker.
Yes.
And no matter what side of the aisle you fall on, it's all gonna affect you.
It is called the circle of life, mama. Everything affects us all, so we are in this together.
If you want better schools, you gotta vote. If you want better roads, you gotta vote. If you wanna make sure that our transgender brothers and sisters are gonna be taken care of, you gotta vote to make sure these things are happening. Because our rights are being taken away, and we gotta make sure we vote to make sure that they are.
And drag queens have always been political activists throughout history. They were at Stonewall, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, helped fight the HIV crisis in the 80s, and they've carried on our founding fathers' tradition of wearing wigs. So why not carry that torch into the most important election of our time?
I'm the co-chair of Drag Out the Vote. And what we're doing is we're getting all these drag ambassadors and we're sending them out with social media content, videos, PSA scripts, resources for voter registration, and more, honey. We're doing shows and we're getting people excited about voting.
If you are excited about something, people will start to feel that excitement. It's like contagious. No coronavirus here, but it's very contagious.
We can pull an all-nighter, then we can go to the polls. We'll have a little party.
Chicken wings.
The poll party.
Hoe out the vote. Hoe out the vote.
Hoe out the
Think
vote.
That is a campaign I think people can get behind. But let's go back a bit. You said something about becoming a drag ambassador. So how does one become that?
Yeah, why you wanna be a drag queen?
Well, I mean, if you're looking, I don't really have anything prepared. Well, maybe this one character I've been working on.
Oh, she gives characters.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Da, 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 da. I am Kitty Glitter.
Oh.
Look over there.
Perhaps my drag concept did need some work, but I was in luck.
I'm gonna get you ready, honey.
If I was going to drag out the vote, I needed my fairy drag mothers to help me get ready.
More blush, more blush.
Dulcé, give us a little fish face. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
More hairspray, more hairspray.
Oh, woman.
So, how do I look?
Now that's drag, mama.
Yeah. Now that my face was beat for the gods, it was time to shoot my first PSA as a drag ambassador. Hi, This is 13th Amendment here telling you to hoe out that vote. Drag queen is known to tuck, but I want you to tuck your vote to that ballot box. And why should you register to vote? It's the best way to use your voice. Vote, 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 vote.
My name is Britta Filter, and I approve this message.
Hey friends, I don't know about you, but I just finished watching all of RuPaul's Drag Race. Twice. So I started watching the news.
There is more grim news at the epicenter of the pandemic.
Total coronavirus cases have eclipsed
Americans
300,000
to stay
more than
inside.
And that got real depressing real fast. And then I started watching on mute.
Tens of millions more American.
And it's amazing. See, all the anchors are broadcasting from their homes now. So if you don't listen to what they're saying and just look at the backgrounds, oh, it's like the worst version of Cribs. Check it out. All right. Now I love me some Anderson Cooper, but this is a little much. It's like, we get it. You breathe. I mean, he looks like he lives in a real life game of Clue. He doesn't need to be worried about Corona. He needs to be worried about Colonel Mustard in the kitchen with the candlestick. Okay, how's this guy the same color as his wall? If he wasn't wearing a black jacket, I wouldn't know where he stopped and the apartment started. And is it just me, or is this apartment giving out real American Psycho vibe? Like, quick, get the bloodstained tarp off the couch. We're going on air. The self-isolation got to this lady, and she snapped. Look at that. Color-coded books. Why? For what? She looked like she live streaming from inside Pinterest. I mean, how does that even work? What should I read tonight? How about something blue? I'd love to see her in a bookstore. Excuse me, do you have anything in a seafoam green? Girl, what? Is that how a CNBC reporter lives? This dude's fireplace is bigger than every studio apartment in Brooklyn. He should check to make sure there's not an MFA student squatting in there. He's obviously got money though, I'll give him that. I can learn how to do the thing where you make money by watching a line on a chart go up. Hold on. Please give me $500,000. Expert. Wow, nice poster. Slow down, cool dad. Don't smoke all the weed. Why is he even there? I thought the colleges closed their dorms. Boring. Oh, this dude is Pennywise. Move on. Move on. I can't tell if this woman's going to update us on the news or sell us handmade turquoise jewelry. Woman, you're not in the Southwest. You're in Florida. I want to see the Golden Girls set. Give me cheesecake, lanai, shoulder pads, shoulder plants, Blanche. Yo, that man's bookshelf looks like a limp penis. And if there's anything I've seen, it's a limp penis. What's up with these candlesticks? It's like if Harry Potter's wand got genital warts. I don't like that. Is this a home office or timeout? Wait, does this guy have a framed picture of himself? Or maybe he's the picture that comes with the frame. Because his whole vibe is kind of the picture that comes with the frame. But also, is he single? Because, I don't know if I've been under quarantine for too long, but man's looking like a snack. Real two-piece and a biscuit, a real Lunchable, a real hot dog when you got home from school. All right, that's all for today, friends. Join me next time when I roast Trevor Noah's apartment. Like, what is that trophy? Did he win the World Cup, but for babies? See you then, bye! America has finally woken up to the problem of police brutality. Sure, they hit the snooze button for the last few decades, but better late than never. But there is one giant problem. Almost half of white people still think the police are doing an excellent job using the right amount of force. Well, half of white people, it's time to change your mind. And since you weren't moved by this, or this, or this, I'm gonna leave emotions out of it and stick to the numbers because I'm Dulcé Sloan and you can count on it. To all those fiscally responsible Americans who vote with their wallet, it's time to learn some hard truths about how police brutality is affecting your bottom line. Today, I've enlisted the help of Maurice B.P. Weeks from the Action Center on Race and the Economy to find out the real cost of police brutality.
I mean, the human cost is that there are people who are just long-term traumatized in communities. So
No. That is up, but I'm talking about the money. You know, dinero, cheddar, coins, okay? How much does it cost?
So in a city like Chicago, in a 10-year period, like $700 million worth of settlements.
What?
And all of that money is paid by taxpayers.
I'm then paying to get my ass whooped by the cops?
Technically, yes.
That's like getting hit by a car and then finding out that you bought them the car and then you had to pay to get the car fixed.
Yeah.
Is there like a line item in the police budget for settlements?
It's in the city's budget.
But why isn't it in the police department's budget? I mean, maybe then other officers would step in and be like, hey man, listen, we only get 5 ass whoopings allocated to each officer a month and you about to go over.
The problem is cities look at the police budget as a third rail that they can never, ever cut, no matter what. The police commit so many acts of misconduct, they often exceed that budget line item. In Chicago, for instance, for basically every year from 2010 to 2017, they exceeded the budget line item for settlements.
Did you hear that, my fiscally minded friends? In 2018, Chicago spent more than $113 million on settlements, over 5 times more than the city budget for police lawsuits. That's like paying out a lawsuit every 2 days. That's 5,000 Kia Sorrentos. How are we paying for this?
The city might choose to pay the settlement using a bond instrument, for instance.
A bond? You're telling me cops are beating us up on layaway?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I know about savings bonds, and I know about bail bonds. Now, which of these 2 bonds do you think I have interacted with?
I'm going to pass on that question because I don't know you very well, Dulcé.
Okay, good answer. It was savings. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a totally different system with these bonds. We call them police brutality bonds.
Police brutality bonds?
You borrow the money and then you pay back with interest over a longer period of time.
So banks are profiting off of police brutality in Black and brown neighborhoods?
Yes.
Wow.
But a couple of cities in particular use these police brutality bonds pretty frequently. Chicago, who has, lots of police brutality settlements in general, uses these bonds all of the time.
Maurice is right. Between 2010 and 2017, Chicago bought over $700 million in bonds to pay off settlements. But because of interest and fees, that ended up costing taxpayers $1.7 billion. Damn! During that same stretch of time, Chicago closed half of its mental health clinics and 50 public elementary schools. Maurice, what the hell are we going to do about this?
Well, what we do want to stop is the police brutality. And you get there by defunding the police, which is a win-win. But also, I think you'd be surprised what some people in cities would pay to keep the police harassing Black people.
No, actually, I'm not surprised at all. But if I spoke to white people's wallets in a style they understand, then maybe they'd pay attention. Hey, white people! Welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about how police brutality is killing Black and brown people, and it's killing your portfolio. Police brutality is draining your municipal investments, over $1.7 billion in the Chicago market alone. Think about all the white people stuff you could spend that on. You could get a Peloton for Little Dakota. You could get a boat on top of a boat. You could buy out the Goop store. Hell, you can buy Gwyneth Paltrow. Stick her in your new Goop purse. So demand accountability for the police. Your ROI depends on it. Tune in next week when we'll see how much money you're losing on climate change, which, according to my calculations, is... oh, damn. Black hair is like gluten. White people are scared of it, but for some reason, they're obsessed with it. And for most of America's history, white people have done whatever they can to stop Black folks from wearing our hair in its natural glory. And our hair has a lot of natural glory. When we lived in the motherland, hair was so important that you could tell a family's name and social status just by their hairstyle. Basically, your hair was how you told all your business. And this is still true today. Show me a Black man's waves and I'll tell you if he drives a Benz or runs after the bus. But when the slave masters came, they cut off our hair as a way to control us and erase who we were. And you know how some people cut off their hair after a bad breakup? It was like that, except they didn't give us blonde highlights. And even after slavery ended, our hair was still not allowed to be free because in its natural state, black hair was seen as unkempt and unacceptable in white America's spaces. Whether it's corporate policies discouraging our natural hairstyles, or army dress codes that specifically eliminated black hairstyles, or schools being allowed to punish black students for wearing their hair naturally. Why? It makes me think black people sporting natural hair is like cutting onions to white people. They just start tearing up at the sight of an afro like it's a black sun. It's round! It's so round! Their hair just grows to the sky. Instead, black people are encouraged to straighten our hair to conform to white America's standard of beauty. Not only is this unfair, it's hard as hell. Straightening black hair takes hours and requires shit like hot combs, relaxers, a silk press process, not to mention all the chemicals you gotta use. Breaking Bad doesn't have anything on Breaking Brains. And we've seen the evidence of this in hairstyles that have since gone by the wayside. Like the unfortunate trend of black uncles everywhere sporting the Jerry curl. The only real symbol of resistance the Jerry curl stood for was destruction. Jerry curls ruined your pillows, your clothes, and your relationships. I went on a date with a guy that had a Jerry curl once, and my passenger seat was never the same. The only way black hair found cultural acceptance was when it was on white people's heads. When Bo Derek wore braids in the movie 10, she was hailed as starting a cross-cultural craze. But in the same era, black people were punished for wearing the same braids. That's gotta be the most gaslighting shit I've seen since I learned how to use a Bunsen burner. But for the good news, for as long as white people have been telling us what we can do with our hair, black people have been fighting back. Just look at Frederick Douglass, who intentionally took photographs for his Instagram 200 years early, showing his luscious natural hair to fight against the racist caricatures of black men. He was basically the 19th century Idris Elba. Black hair was even part of the civil rights era, with the Black is Beautiful Afro movement. And today, the Crown Act movement is making real progress in breaking down the stigma of black hair's natural state, which will hopefully lead to the day when just letting our hair exist doesn't have to be a political statement. I mean, as soon as I had a baby fro, I couldn't walk down the street without someone yelling, "Hey, Sister Queen, I see you over there starting a revolution." Hey man, I'm just going to Whole Foods. What are you talking about? So that's the messed up history of black hair in America. And that's just an overview. The rest is enough to fit in Angela Davis's fro. Until next time, remember white people, when it comes to black hair, you can look, but not touch or copy. And black people, put the conditioner in and then the oil. Don't let me catch you walking around with your hair all dry. Hair so dry it looks ashy. If your hair is looking like some knees, ha! You got problems.